the chairman of the Essendon Football Club, Graeme McMahon, spoke tonight at the dinner. It's their home game. And Graeme will be coming up and will be being a guest at half-time during this match. But an interesting note from his speech tonight that he was clearly concerned about an apparent collusion between two other AFL presidents on the footy show last night.
Whatever might arise, one thing is certain. The board of the Essendon Football Club will make its own decisions following deliberation, and it will announce and impart them to the public when it feels appropriate. We require no help from any other club or any other president to tell us what our views are.
So the Carlton and Collingwood presidents last night, John Elliott and Eddie Maguire. Graeme McMahon coming up at half-time. Graeme McMahon's joined me, the chairman of the Essendon Football Club. We heard from you earlier tonight already, Graeme. Just before I go to that, you walked across the ground. Kevin Sheedy was giving the team a bit of a rev at half-time.
Yeah, well, they let it go a bit, and they deserved a bit of a rev, so...
And the crowd tonight is probably up to about 55,000. What are your thoughts on a Thursday night with that sort of a crowd against Richmond?
Oh, I think it's a great crowd. We were looking at the seating before I came over here, and there are blocks of seats that we know we've sold as reserved seats that are empty tonight, and they'll be families. They'll be mum and dad and the kids who haven't been able to come out on a Thursday night.
But you get that revenue anyway?
Yeah, well, we've got the memberships and the seats already sold, but we'd prefer to have an actual crowd here in the game filling the stadium up.
John Elliott and Eddie Maguire last night on the footy show. In your speech tonight, it was a suggestion that Carlton and Collingwood have been getting together a bit of late, more than a bit.
Oh, I don't think that's right. I didn't mention Collingwood in any shape or form. I mean, what I objected to was the fact that other clubs, including Essendon's name, was being used as if we had a similar view, and we don't hold a similar view at the moment. We have concerns in a couple of areas, but we believe there is a contract in place. It's been in place for a while. Every club, including Carlton, have been getting dividends off that contract, and it ought to be left in place till it's finished in 2001. Part of that contract is C7. There have been live games against the gate in the past. What's suddenly changed? And I think we've conveyed our concerns to the AFL. We trust them as the people who have been elected or appointed to negotiate the best TV contract that they can get, and we are not prepared to see it unbundled and unpackaged. You'll get more revenue selling it as a single item than what you will if we have a dozen people out there negotiating in their own right. So
you didn't see it as cooperation between Eddie Maguire and John Elliott last night?
Well, I've got to be honest, I was hobnobbing it with Barbara Streisand last night, so I didn't see the program, and I haven't seen a tape or seen the transcript of it at all, so I don't know what was said last night. All I know is that over the last week, I've had media ringing me saying, would I like to comment about the fact that I'm in favour of what other people are saying, and we don't need anyone to express Essendon's view. We'll express our own when we're ready.
The president of Collingwood, Eddie Maguire, suggested that the AFL isn't going too well at the moment. His comments this morning that the footy fans are starting to lose confidence. There are so many shifty deals going on.
Well, I don't know about shifty deals, but I think the AFL people have been appointed to do a job, and maybe they'd do a much better job if they were left alone to get on with it. It's a bit hard when you're struggling with alligators all the time that are coming from behind you. They've done a job. They've got a contract in place with Channel 7, C7. The television's been working well for a while. The contract goes to 2001. Leave it alone and renegotiate the new contract.
You're in a very powerful position, aren't you? There's a feeling that if Essendon went into bed with Carlton and Collingwood on anything, that they'd be a formidable force.
Well, I have on my desk at home the contract that was given to us to enter into the agreement that Carlton, Collingwood, Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn have already entered into with Steve Vizard's company.
Is this the Internet Rights,
yes.
Is it? For 10 years, we believe?
I know what's in that contract. We refuse to sign it because we don't think it's the right deal at all. We believe that we should just roll along with the AFL at this point in time, protect our rights, and I'd be recommending to any other club that they should be going down the same path.
Is Eddie Maguire in that contract, in that company with Steve Vizard?
I don't know. I haven't bothered to search the company or the ownership of it in any shape or form. But we were asked to go in. We've refused to go in.
Oh, interesting. I'd like to talk to you for another half an hour. We don't have time, unfortunately. Graeme, thank you. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
You seem to be going very well, particularly, well, both on and off the field.